is Voices of Courage with your host, Brandy J. Today, I would like to introduce you to a very special guest of mine. Her name is Amanda Love. She is a nutritionist and she is focusing in on fibromyalgia. She's here to tell us today what it is and just to give us some education and background in it. Hey there.
Hi, thanks for having me, Brandy.
Of course, thank you for wanting to be here. Yes, yes. Well, Amanda, please, by the way, I love your last name.
Thank you. Everybody loves it.
Amanda
I can
Love.
never see. I can never get married, or if I get married, then I can't change it.
I know, right? You were like, can we just Yes, I love it. It makes me want to say it like this. Amanda Love. Kind of like a radio. I love it. I love it. Well, Amanda, can you please tell us more about you as a nutritionist and your studies and your focus is on fibromyalgia?
Yes. Yeah, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Jeez, it's crazy. It'll be 11 years in the fall. And I was 20 years old. I was a baby. Most people don't get diagnosed till 40s, 50s. But for me, it was a long journey of health issues. I was sick constantly every single week. And then eventually it was every 4 to 6 weeks. And out of high school, I was really into fitness. So I got certified in personal training. And then right after that, I turned 20. And all of a sudden, I couldn't get off the couch. I couldn't move. I was in extreme pain. I would go to the gym and then I would come home and I was just crash and take these long naps. I was getting excruciating headaches. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And so eventually, 10 months later, I went to a rheumatologist, one of the top rheumatologists in Mesa, Arizona, and they said, oh, you have fibromyalgia. I'm like, well, okay, what does that even mean? They just hand me a pamphlet, and that was my journey to going from doctor to doctor. I got put on medication at a very young age. I only stayed on it for 2 days because I am I guess if something doesn't work, I'm not going to stick with it. And I think that's what people need to know is you can't, if something's not working, you shouldn't stick with it. And so I did medication. I did physical therapy, which I always say is funny because it's not, fibromyalgia is not an overweight issue. You can look perfectly normal and have fibromyalgia. And that's the problem. It's an invisible disease. And with fibromyalgia, I don't think people think about it as people are like, well, you have it, but your friends and family can't see it. So that's the problem, right? And so my journey, I went to only the rheumatologist for a couple months. And you guys, this was one of the top rheumatology places in Mesa, Arizona. So you would think they would be really good, but they weren't. And so right next door to physical therapy was a pain management place. And I always say this is like the probably worst part of my story because I was supposed to have 3 treatments. And what they would do is they shoot this needle into all the different trigger points, your neck, your back. And of course, you were awake and it was this huge needle. And so your blood sugar would crash, everything would crash. And it was just like, okay, you had juice cookies, raise it back up. And I would come out bawling, crying. I was in so much pain. I only did 2 treatments because I'm like that. And eventually, this was in the fall of 2010. Eventually, in the spring of 2011, my grandmother found a little clipping when people actually read the newspaper
Mhm.
wellness talk by a wellness chiropractor that said, come, it's free. It's 10 minutes away. It was in Gilbert, Arizona. And so she went to the talk. He said to her, well, if your granddaughter's been diagnosed with fibromyalgia at 20 years old, she's been very, very sick a very, very long time. And a light bulb went off in my grandma's head. And I worked with that wellness chiropractor for 8 months. And it was a journey. I had to get rid of gluten, the highest. Sorry, guys, my dog. Highest in his practice at the time. Yeah, sensitivity. Uh, with two sets of parents predisposed me to that gluten sensitivity, along with a soy sensitivity, egg sensitivity, and dairy sensitivity. And I have been off of those for 10 years, so it's quite a journey. I always say fibromyalgia, you didn't wake up with fibromyalgia, so you're not going to expect it to go away within like a day or two.
Okay. Sounds like the dog keeps trying to tell the story too.
I don't know why they're barking.
He's like, my turn. I have something to say. Okay. Well, when you said that usually people are diagnosed when they're younger, because I was going to ask that too. Were they able to tell you like how this came about, or was this something that somebody was already pre exposed to, like maybe when it just didn't surface until they were older?
No, they don't tell you why you have fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is one of those things where people don't know exactly why they get it. I feel like with fibromyalgia, people are very A plus driven people, and I think we're also, yeah, we're very driven, and I'm not an A plus like that type of person, but I mean I was very driven, and I think if you start off your life with like immune issues, that's a problem in itself. And then if you have food sensitivities, that's a problem in itself too. And then they always say trauma plays a part. So if you had, I feel like childhood trauma always plays some sort of part in whatever health condition you have,
Yeah.
right? And then they
Yeah.
also said, which I had some childhood trauma stuff. And I also think they also say car accidents could be a reason why. So it's all these different factors. But I think if we
Yeah.
get to this point where we're like, well, what caused the fibromyalgia? Well, instead of realizing, well, you had the fibromyalgia, what can you do to get better with it? You
Yeah.
can't worry about the past. You can only worry about the future.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Find out how you know what I mean, to get there to possibly change it, or to what. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize like past and stuff, history helps. You know what I mean? Like want to be in the here and now. It's like, well, how do we make change of things if we don't?
Right.
you
I mean,
know?
I always, but it's interesting because people are like, they stay, if you talk to certain people, it's like, oh, you could tell they're still in the past,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
You're trying to talk to a family member and they'll bring up whatever stuff that's happened in the past with the other family member. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, can't we just move past it?
Yeah.
It's not gonna, you're not, you can't change people. So you have to realize what can you do
Yeah.
yourself to make the
Yeah. That's true.
situation better.
Yeah,
Or
that is true.
or you have to set those boundaries of like that person's not gonna, they haven't worked through whatever they haven't worked through. And you have to
Yeah.
set that boundary.
Yeah. If they're not willing, then you have to, you know, keep it moving, like they say.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah.
it's hard to set boundaries with family. But when you find out, what do you deal with like any health issue, I find you realize who's the most supportive people in your life.
Yeah.
And if people like aren't, you can't be taken advantage of. And if people aren't grateful for you being in their life or saying thank you and stuff, then those people you probably have to distance yourself with.
Yeah. True. Very true. Yeah. People think it's because it's family, like they get a pass, like you have to. You're like, well, they're family, so I have to. And it's like, at the end of the day, they're still people, and you have to deal with people. And that doesn't really give a person a pass to be unhealthy in your life. So,
Mm-mm.
yeah. Very true. Very true. You think they'd be the most supportive, but,
I find it's not true. Most of us don't have like super like close relationships with everybody in our families.
yeah,
So
that's true. Very true. That's that's true. I even have, every family has their stuff, and it's fine. It's normal. So,
it's
but it's
just
healthy
how
to
it
talk about it. Yeah, yeah, most definitely. And you'll find out when you talk about these things how much you have in common with a complete stranger or somebody, that now isn't a stranger anymore, but so much in common.
Yeah, I did an episode on my podcast with a friend, and we were talking about boundaries. And he was saying he has probably more. He's probably closer to like friends than blood relatives.
Yeah, I can second him that. Very much so. I think that's a lot with a lot of people, though. And I wonder what that's about. The people that should know you the best is the ones that you're furthest away from, and maybe that's something too. Is because they know or they think they know you. Because I feel like
I think
because your family,
I think it's our society.
yeah,
I don't think we're taught how to have healthy relationships.
we are not.
And so
Good comment.
I think that's the thing. We're not taught healthy relationships. So why I mean people just don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's
So
true. Very true. Very true. Um, so I know that I listened to you have a show. Tell the listeners what the name of your podcast is.
fibromyalgia real solutions with Amanda Love. Because
Awesome.
I want people to realize there's hope out there and you can have answers and you can get better. I feel like people don't think with fibromyalgia you can get better, and I'm here to tell you you are, and that's why I have amazing guests who talk about ways to get better along with my solo episodes. And then people
Awesome.
and then I have people who just are inspiring
Yeah,
because we
that's
need to hear
amazing.
inspiring stories,
Yeah,
especially this time of the world where we're all like
yeah,
beaten down, if that's
yeah,
the word.
yeah. It's true. We need to hear uplifting and knowing that it can get better. Because people are just like it's hard. The distancing and not knowing what's next, what to believe, and then everybody's fighting against one another because with everything from the mask to the vaccine, it's just like when is there going to be a point when we just
You're not going to
calm
change.
down?
Yeah, it's calm down. Honestly, I don't even ever say really what my opinion is because it's like, what's the point? You're not going to change people's minds.
Exactly. And then that's
And
the part where we
why get in
respect
an
one another.
argument? There's so much things to be doing with your time. Then,
Yeah.
and I think, especially, I don't know, when we're in the US, I mean, I think it's just like we got to realize you're not going to change someone's mind about the mask or the vaccine or
Right.
whatever you believe. So
Right.
why even mention it?
Yeah. And definitely arguing about it is kind of like for what everybody makes
It's
their own
very,
choices,
it's very
and then
child. I just find it very childish.
it is very childish. And half of these people have children, so that's what baffles me. I'm like, what are we doing?
I mean, I don't
you
have
know?
kids, but I mean, it's just so silly to me. People, they just argue about it. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
It
we said
just
in a
looks
very it does. And then I think like, what are we telling kids? Like, then you turn around and try to tell kids to do this, this, and that. And you kind of, if I was a kid, I'd be like, yeah. Sure, because they're watching you act a complete, maniac, over something that doesn't even affect you. We just respect one another's choices
We
and,
don't
and respect.
but yeah, and I don't and I feel like we don't have control of whatever the government's gonna do.
Right.
So, what do you the question you always have to ask yourself is, "What do you have control today?"
Yep.
Okay, so what do I have control of? What can I be doing? Okay, should I be drinking more water? Should I
Yep.
be exercising? Do I need to go to the grocery store because I have no food in the house? Like,
Right.
do I need to take a nap? Maybe I need some downtime. Like,
Yep.
that's how I'm feeling today. I need a little more downtime. So, what can I do to relax and shut off like all the media, shut off the news,
Yeah.
shut it all off? I mean, I haven't
Yeah.
watched the news in like
Yeah. I don't even watch
eight,
it.
nine. I don't know when the last time I watched the news. It's
Yeah.
probably been almost a year because
Yeah.
I stopped watching it after like the first month because I was like, this just takes it's so stupid. I'm wasting time.
Mhm.
It just drained me.
It does. It's very drainful, and it does that to people. And most people that act erratically, they watch a lot of the news, and they let it get them going, and phew, you know what I mean? It's like they're not even. It's not. Sometimes it seems like it's not even them. Like their own thoughts and beliefs. It's like they've been triggered by someone else's narrative, and they're like, and I'm like, how is this affecting your life, and why are you so, you know, worked up about it? It's unhealthy.
Yeah, and
It affects our health.
it affects our immune system. Then we're not
Hmm.
sleeping. Then we're sick. Like, how many
Yeah.
people are probably sicker this year than they've
Yeah.
ever been in their lives because they're not taking care of themselves?
Correct.
And then
Correct.
if people are going back to like how they used to live, like I don't know how it is, but I'm in Arizona, so we don't really have to wear masks unless it's like going to churches or
Yeah.
like the stores and
I
stuff.
think that's how it is here in San Diego. Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you're going back to how your life was before, well, that's not good either. If
Yeah.
you're going back to all the socializing, all the working yourself into the ground, then
Right.
what did this last plus year teach you about
Yep.
slowing down and taking care of yourself? Because in this past year, we should have realized our health is more important than
Yeah.
maybe maybe we put a priority on it. If that's
Yeah.
because I mean, I find if you don't make your health a priority, then how are you supposed to do everything else you're supposed to do in life?
Preach, Amanda, preach. I was saying that the other day. I said we talk about how we want to be successful, the things we have planned for. I said, but if you don't take care of your health, then watch the stuff that you eat because food, you know what I mean, is the biggest. I think the biggest health uh enemy, if you want to call it. But you still eat the same way, then this is pretty much pointless. And it sounds like insanity. Like makes no sense to set yourself up for a future and you don't even take care of your health or change it or even care. It's like that doesn't make any
I
sense to
find
me.
yeah, I find people put it on the back burner.
Right. I'm like, you have to be alive and well to do these things, right? So you might want to
I
take
mean,
that into consideration.
I always say if it your life might not ever slow down. You have to find the time to make. If you're on Facebook, how
Yeah.
much time does people spend on Facebook or any social media or even
A
on our
lot.
phones or Netflix or whatever? I mean, if you spend that much, you spend so much time and you can't fit in like 15, 20 minutes of
Right.
exercise or you can't make a healthy meal.
And that's
All
the
this time,
problem.
all this time adds up, and there are like ways to see how much you're spending on doing all these things that you really could cut back on, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Very, very much so. If we just paid it more attention to how we monitor ourselves, like you said, the stuff that we do have control over, and we can find if we did that, we'd find out that we've been fooling ourselves.
Well,
you know?
yeah, and I mean, you find out, like, if you find out that, okay, well, I have spent this much time doing all these other things, well, maybe I should go to bed earlier. That would
Right.
help me get up earlier so then I could work out, or I can make a healthy lunch to take to work or whatever you have to do. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to make it a priority. And if you
Yeah.
have to put it in a planner and schedule it out and say, oh, I need to do this. And it's not just exercise and working out, you also need to take downtime, which we
Yeah.
all don't do.
We don't. We just go, 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 and that's a health probably wears on our body too. And I was listening to this doctor talk, and they were talking about how, especially with our system and our governments, and I can see why they don't, because they need us to work, 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 work. They don't
Right.
talk about how sleep and rest is very vital to keep your immune system, your health. Even with this pandemic going on, there's things that we should be doing as far as intake of food and rest and fresh air and all these things that we have to know to go seek these things instead of being told to. I'm not sitting there just waiting, like sitting, like go find out what keeps you healthy and how you can keep yourself from catching, or just keep yourself like healthy. But sleep is definitely, because I know I need that, because I'll keep working and doing stuff, and it's like yesterday I was like, I am going, but then I was like, okay, now I gotta get up, because I was it's a fine line. It was like feeling so good, but I was like, I have to rest more, allow myself to, and then feel more amazing, which I do.
Yeah. I think,
Like the next day.
yeah, I think as women, we go, 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 go. And I think the problem is and then if we're that time of the month, I think we need to take more time to just de-stress and relax, which is
Yeah,
hard.
it is. It
I
is.
mean, it's hard for I'm gonna be I'll be completely honest. It's very hard for me. I wish my energy was the same all throughout the month, but it's like it's telling that time of the month your body's telling you you need to slow down, you need to rest more.
Yeah, that's probably where the crankiness comes from. 'Cause people say, "Oh my God, she's on that time." And I'm like, "Dude, I never picked up on that." I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm great. I'm not." You know what I mean? But I think when it comes to, like how you said, like when your body's probably saying just chill, and then you're like you're not chilling, and then that's probably when I'm out.
That's when the
You know?
sickness happens is because we're
Hmm.
not chilling, we're not relaxing. I mean, I watched a Hallmark movie last night. Just a light something, just light because I was like, I need to just relax.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay to relax. Some people feel like when they relax, Amanda, that they're losing time. Like they feel like they got to be working. If they relax, then there's nothing. They're not getting something done. And I think that we need to take that into consideration and know that just that you don't have to, the body is only designed to, it's not designed to just beat it up, you know what I mean, and just keep going and going just because you can. That will affect you in the long run, and it'll come crashing down. Like we have to understand. But like you said, we're not taught a lot of things. We're not taught to rest, you know what I mean? Because people work, you know what I mean? And no one's trying to tell them not to. The system, they don't tell anybody, okay, you guys, we need a national rest day, you know what I mean? Or something like that, like take a break. They're like, no,
Yeah,
like
we
the
don't do
money.
it. We don't do it,
No.
and then we have our weekends and we fill our weekends too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it plays a
Nobody
lot
takes
in,
nobody takes like we don't say to ourselves, "Oh, I should probably just do nothing on a Saturday or nothing on a Sunday." And we're like, and then
right.
we do it and we're like, "Oh gosh," and we feel bad about it.
Right? Or other people are like, you don't do nothing. I can't just not do nothing. They make it like a bad thing. I mean, if you do nothing for the rest of your life, that might be a problem. But I
I
mean,
mean,
just to
yeah,
do
but I mean,
nothing.
I think, yeah. I
But
mean, if
yeah,
you could go out, go for a hike or go out with friends or family, do something social or something, or even even if you just have a day where you just do nothing, like just watch some Netflix.
Yeah. Have no plans. Just like I'm just going with the motion. Get up, eat something, sit down, just I'm doing nothing.
Yeah,
That's a
I
nice
think
day.
I think the problem. Yeah, the problem is I mean, we all have it. We have our planners, and we have like things that are. We were talking about before that about scheduling stuff and us having our guests and everything, and it's like with our
Yeah.
calendars. That's
Yeah.
why I decided. That's why I decided a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I'm blocking Saturday and Sunday off
I did too. Yep.
because I'm like, I don't want to have any interviews. I don't want to have any. I don't really want to talk to anybody
Right.
that I don't need to talk to. Like, there's other 5 days of the week that people could schedule,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Those definitely. And then we're allowed to have those days. And then you have to have that day where you can process all the stuff that you know what I mean that's been going on and stuff. You're like, okay, all right. But if you just keep going, then it backs up and it's gonna crash and burn definitely. Yeah. And considering our health, which you say, like you said, people put on the back burner and then wonder why they're not feeling the way they feel. It's like because you forgot the number one factor. Take care of yourself
Yeah,
and mentally. Yeah.
yeah, and if you don't, and I think the problem is we just, I think if something doesn't like get done during the week, that we just throw it onto the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you're in that on the weekend. It's insanity. It's like the cycle of
And then you're like,
insanity.
where did the weekend even go?
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it's
flees
okay to
by.
do, I mean, it's okay to do stuff on the weekend, but make sure you have some downtime too.
Yeah. Very good to have downtime. Shoot, what's today? It's
It's
Tuesday.
Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Darn.
Like,
But no, I mean, it's good to do and to
it's good
also
to have
talk
down.
about it.
Yeah, and we need to have downtime sometime for ourselves every day, not just on the weekend.
Yeah.
So if it's that hour of working out where you get away from the kids or whatever, or that hour of Netflix or whatever it is.
Yeah. Take those breaks, those woo-ha moments or woosah. Yeah, most definitely. I know that for you and others, that's definitely like is that something like saying, since you've had fibromyalgia, is that something that your doctor like say to you or that's something that you decided for yourself like you have to do?
Oh gosh. Yeah, my doctors didn't say much of anything productive. Yeah, for me personally, it was something I have to I had to decide to do. I still struggle with taking downtime. I'm not per I it's not it's something it's one of the things that I struggle with. The healthy eating is good. The but and the exercise is good now, but taking downtime is my like struggle. And it's something I think with illness, with any, you have to realize your body's not probably like as, I mean, my body's gotten better and stuff, but I mean, it's like I still need more downtime than maybe someone else. And I think it's okay. It's okay to have that downtime.
Yeah.
You got to give yourself permission to have the downtime, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Mentally and all that it matters. We can only do handle so much,
Right?
as human beings. So yeah, we're
Mentally,
not robots.
I always say, yeah, mentally, yeah, we mentally we go through so much. We get told all these different things at all these time with all this stuff, and we just need a mental break. And I
Yeah.
tell people, even if it's something like 10 minutes where you just sit outside and don't think and don't have your phone, don't have anything, right? Just take those 10 minutes, have a glass of tea or whatever, water, whatever your favorite beverage is, right? That's healthy. And just take that downtime. And you could
Yeah,
do
for
that.
sure.
Like, you could do that a couple times a day easily. I'm in northern Arizona, so it's beautiful right now. It's like in the 70s. So, but just go out in nature, do whatever you need to do to get away.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I think we don't. I think we just are like we're glued to our phones. We're glued
Yeah,
to the computer, and I'm
yeah,
guilty
for
of
sure.
this too,
I
where we're just glued to them, and we can't. It's and no wonder we're having people have issues with going to sleep at night.
yeah, yep. Well, they don't realize it affects them and stuff. And they're saying that you just by you saying that this morning before I came on here, I came across something on TikTok. It was called Five something. It was some really inspirational like stuff that I'm kind of into. There's like love and affirmations and all that stuff and life and what it truly is beyond this made world where you just move, 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 work, 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 money, money, money. You got to live, survive, like true life.
Right?
You know what I mean? And
I
then
always
I
say
was like
there's a greater
getting ready.
purpose.
Yeah, yeah, it's a bigger. This is just a small. This is just a distraction, and you
Yeah,
don't really evolve and become the person that you really are supposed to be beyond all this. This to me is made, created, designed, and I'm just got to learn it. They're learning to adapt and they'll live with it. Some people just live it and never know that there was a whole nother, you know, world, that
I
you can
tell
still be
I
here and live.
yeah I always say there's a greater purpose. God
Yeah.
put me on this earth for a greater purpose.
Yep. That's what I say too. Yep. Very true.
Yeah, I always say that. I always say that, and I say it in a lot of my interviews too because it's not about me. And
Exactly.
I think a lot of times in this world we think it's about us, but it's really not.
Yep. Everybody got that me, I. You know what I mean? Type of mentality. And it's like, little do you know, you're just this small on a
Yeah,
bigger scale.
God's gonna God's gonna do whatever He wants with you, but if you're about me, then you're gonna miss out on what God wants for you.
Yeah, yeah. And some people are just even aren't even on that realm. They don't see it. They believe the hype. I call it. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like listen to your soul. It talks to you. You know what I mean? The earth, the world, it'll talk to you. But if you don't tap in, if you're not willing, then you won't catch it.
yeah,
Yeah. But that's I had that feeling, and I just all of a sudden looked up, and I was like, I'm gonna live today. And some people be like, "What do you mean live? You are living." No, this is just me breathing. I'm here. I said, I'm going to live. I said, this morning I'm going to choose. I'm going to step out the normal program routine that I've adopted, even though it's my program, my routine or my program, but I've been programmed to be in a routine. I'm gonna do something different today. Yeah, we're probably supposed to do this, and you're supposed to be in class at this time, but we're gonna do something different. You know what I mean? Because this is where we are right now in this world, and we don't know what's gonna happen. And then I have a child. I'm like, I don't want this to be like it. I want you to live. I want you to feel the spontaneous that you can have in life, where you know what I mean, like what makes you happy and you're not hurting
yeah,
anybody. Like just go, let's do something different. And I just felt that way this morning. Like let's just go do something. Just do something. I don't know, but let's just do it. And
yeah.
I know there's things to worry
I
about, but let's not worry about
yeah.
it.
I think the problem. Yeah, we got to realize this in this past year. It's like we got to do things different. We have to
Yeah,
push ourselves, do things out of our comfort zone
yeah,
because we need to grow as people, and we should be growing as people all the time. And I think a lot of people just stay the same and they just get in that same routine of whatever, and
yeah. It's
they're
so
missing
true.
out.
Yeah. That true happiness. Like people think that it comes when they are done doing X, Y, and Z. Like I'll be happy, I'll be have peace when I get this done. I'm like, no, you can have it now. But you're missing. You know what I mean? Because tomorrow's not promised.
No,
So yeah,
nothing's promised, and what we've seen this lifetime. I mean, especially in this last year, it's like nothing's promised. We don't know what's going to happen in the next year.
right. The next minute, tomorrow, it's like all we do and truly have is now. We don't even have yesterday, tomorrow, all we have in time is right now. We don't even know what's to come tomorrow. We always think people are always living for the past, yes, or they're thinking about tomorrow, the next day, and it's kind of like a cycle because then you miss out on today because you do it again, and then tomorrow comes. You know what I mean? It becomes
Yeah,
today, and then
it's
you're
a
focused on the next day again, and you're like you keep passing up the tomorrow that that became today. You have now. If that made any sense.
yeah. I think you get you. you just people get stuck into whatever they want to do,
Yeah.
and they're going to miss out on
Yeah.
whatever you're supposed to have in life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like maybe you had it, you didn't know it because you didn't enjoy the day that you had. You were looking at days that we don't even have yet, and then focus on a day that you already had. It's yesterday. So you're gonna do
Yeah,
today differently.
and I say, so if we're focused on, if we focus on today, what should we be doing today? Should we
Yeah.
be mending some relationships? Should we be
Yeah.
saying thank you more?
Yeah.
Should we be
Yep.
more grateful?
Yeah. Because it's a gift. You know, a lot of people didn't get a tomorrow, or when we get
Yeah,
another day, you could change. You can use that day to change things, do something different, be different,
yeah, and
fix
I always,
something.
yeah, I say, what can you do today that would be make someone else's day? So saying thank you to somebody goes a
Yeah.
long way.
Very
Going,
much.
sending them an email, sending them, actually sending a card in the mail, doing something different,
Yeah. Yeah. Very
right?
much so. Treating one another better as human
Yeah,
beings. You don't even have to know the person.
thanking a cashier person. We went to the store. Thanking a cashier person. Thanking the mail person. Thanking whoever you come in contact with today.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. And we have, like you said, what we have control over, we have control over those things. You know what I mean? That they
Exactly.
can't tell us. They've tried. They said social distance. Okay, I'll stand over here, but I can still do these things, and we should have that because everybody needs it. Very much so. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you. I know you talk a lot about pastime and taking care of ourselves. Do you have any favorite pastimes that you like to do?
You mean like things I like to do?
Yeah, maybe like a hobby or something like when you're in your downtime or things you take away and you do that you like.
Yeah, so okay, let's see. So
So many, huh?
I would say I'm a huge, so I don't really share, I don't know if I've ever shared this on a episode, but I love basketball, NBA basketball.
Cool.
So we're actually number one in the West. I'm in Arizona, so we haven't been to the playoffs since 2010 when I first started watching. So that's exciting. So I'm really into that. I was super sick. When I was super sick, that's how I had nothing else to do. So that's how I got started watching it. And I haven't been able to watch as much because I've been super busy this season. But I'm super excited about that. That's like something I get really into it. So and and then yeah, one thing I love to do. So I'm in northern Arizona, so I'm in Prescott, and I love to go hiking. So I like to get out in nature. And that's like my downtime, 3 hours or a couple hours just to get away, because I'm constantly doing things. And you don't have to do it, you could do it by yourself, which is great because then you could talk to God or just not even think about anything at all or do it with a friend. And it just gets you away from like everything you have to deal with. It gives you that break, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's very important. And everybody got to learn that Amanda loves some basketball.
Yeah. It's
I
well,
love
actually,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So what about do you have any favorite quotes or like, like a saying or something that kind of, like really registers with you?
I don't know if I have any.
Or do you
I
have your
always
own?
my own. Okay. There is one that I always use all the time, and it's a health quote. It's like all diseases begin in the gut by
Mm,
Hippocrates, I think it is. Because that's, I think if you are dealing with any health issue, it always starts in the gut. And that's a big thing. I always tell people. I
okay,
don't know if
okay.
I have any of my own. I always say I do say this one thing about one molecule of gluten can stay in your body for up to weeks, up to months. So if you're going to stay off of gluten, you have to stay off of it for at least a month or two.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. And any favorite books?
Oh, favorite books. Um,
Books
mm,
or
I
authors books.
uh, Prescription for Natural Healing is the book I give every single person in my life and stuff, and clients and family members, and that's a good. That's like it's pretty thick, but it's like covers. It gives you a general idea of any health conditions. So
Yeah. Where could one find that book? Is that on Amazon?
yeah,
Okay, I would definitely like to check that out too. Most definitely. Okay, okay. Let's see. I think I had another one. What was it somewhere? Let me see. Let me
podcast.
see. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, we definitely gonna want you to drop the your information for your podcast and your links. But it was also did I write it down? It was something that I definitely wanted you to. Oh yeah, your podcast, and then yeah, definitely, and tell everybody about what's coming up, your special day.
Yeah. So yeah, my podcast is Fibromyalgia Real Solutions Amanda Love. And it just hit 2 years this week. And so I'm doing several solo episodes. And May 12th is Fibromyalgia Awareness Day. And I'm doing a special episode for that day. But all week I'm doing episodes. So I'm doing 7 special episodes from the
Awesome.
2nd all the way to the 12th. So.
Okay. And where can the listeners go to listen to these podcasts?
Um, Everywhere, Apple, Spoof, all the all the major platforms.
Okay. I always tell people just Google me.
Just put in, yeah. You'll just
Yeah.
put in my full name, Amanda Elise Love, and you'll probably come up with some guest interviews, my podcast, everything, my website.
Okay. Okay. And do you have any social media links or websites that you can drop for us?
Yeah, so my social media is Amanda Elise, which is Elise, and then Love.
Okay.
And I'm on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, but the best is probably Facebook or Instagram.
Okay. Most definitely. We'll make sure that we get them in the notes also too of the show so people can definitely go and listen to your shows. Yeah. I think what you're doing is amazing. It's awesome, informational, and for the fact that you also are someone that experiences, you have more of a empathetic, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
feeling behind it.
I'm empathetic, and that's my personality.
Yeah, most definitely. We need more empathetic people. It's like a whole nother conversation that I was having the other night. I was just like, because I teach and all, and that was such a big thing, like in school, that we had a problem with children with the kindness and the empathy. But starts at home, but it follows you everywhere you go, and it's always a teaching moment. So that's huge. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and I don't think we have enough kind
at all.
people in this world.
Not enough. I'm telling you, I'm just like, what is wrong with everybody? So desensitized,
We're all
you
about
know?
me, 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 me. I'm like, yeah, no wonder I have to distance myself from some family members.
Right? It's true. It's true. But I do thank you for coming on. And anytime you have something to you have your own podcast. But I'm just saying, yeah, this is Voices of Courage, and we love for voices to come on and to speak and have that platform to speak about you know themselves and educate people, let them know, and help people understand what I mean, health, and maybe even understand a family member that has, what I mean, or they might come about it and then be like, oh, I remember, listening
Yeah,
to a
exactly.
podcast. So yeah, for sure, most definitely. So is there anything, Amanda Love? I gotta say it like that, Amanda Love.
Yeah, yeah,
Is there anything you would like to say to the listeners that you want to leave them with before you go?
yeah. Never give up is my main motto. You got to keep going. because in life we need to keep going because God has a greater purpose
Yeah,
for whatever your life is than your health issue.
for sure, for sure. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. I was going to ask you before, when we get off here, if you could just hold on for like 30 seconds, and then yeah, I'll just talk to you a little bit. But I just wanted to tell the listeners, thank you for being amazing listeners, and definitely be aware. I'm going to put it in my website, and also I'll probably have do a little. I'll talk about it and bring it up May 12th, and keep people informed, and to definitely check out your show during that week, the 2nd to the 7th, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, sounds good. Well, guys, this is Amanda Love. Wait, this is Amanda Love. Right here with Brandy J on Voices of Courage, Walk the Talk. And until next time, bye.